A nationwide outage 911 service is back online. We'll tell you the suspected cause of the crash.
Retail showdown, Walmart and Target's new strategy to compete for your business. Plus,
we're seeing is a lot of stuff that's not based on reason.
A North Dakota doctor's plan to eliminate mass testing and mask mandates. Valley News Live at 10 starts right now.
Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
911 lines are back up in the Red River Valley after a nationwide outage tonight.
We're learning more about the outage that affected at least 9 states. Valley News team Stacy Van Dyke joins us now with the latest. Stacy?
Thanks, Andrea. Mike, Valley News Live became aware of this outage, which included Fargo, West Fargo, and Moorhead about 6:45 this evening. Now, the line was only down for about half an hour here, but it took closer to an hour to be restored in other cities across the nation, like Minneapolis, Tucson, and Reno. Now, at the same time, Microsoft reported a massive outage of its 365 cloud services. It's not immediately clear if this is linked to the 911 outage, but it did affect Outlook, Teams, and several other services. Microsoft says it's working to determine the full impact of the outage, and they'll provide more information. Mike?
All right, thanks, Stacy. And during these situations, officials urge you not to test call 911 to see if it's working, as that ties up the line for actual emergency calls.
More than 1 million people have been killed by the coronavirus worldwide. We pass this grim milestone as we pass another one right here in the United States.
More than 200,000 people have been killed by the virus. Now a rapid test for coronavirus is about to hit states across the country.
But how does it work, and will you be able to get one? Reporter Camilla Bernal has the latest.
150 million rapid COVID-19 tests are now set to be deployed to all 50 states.
This does not require any kind of machine. It's very rapid, and this is not one of those deep swab things that people are reluctant to use.
It almost could not be easier. It starts with 6 drops of liquid onto this piece of paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Into the test. Twisted 3 times, the adhesive is pulled off, and you wait 15 minutes, and that is the test.
President Trump saying 50 million tests will be sent to communities hit hardest by the pandemic.
18 million for nursing homes, 15 million for assisted living facilities, 10 million for home health and hospice care agencies, and nearly 1 million for historically black colleges and universities, and also tribal nation colleges.
But critics say this is only a small step forward.
It's probably not enough. We need a lot more.
I would rather see 150 million a day, not a month. We need to be close to a time when everybody in America can have a rapid test for free from the government to test their family.
At the White House, I'm Camila Bernal reporting.
The federal distribution plan will grant governors flexibility in how they deploy the tests, but they will be offered some guidance on how to prioritize.
If you live in the Grand Forks area, a COVID-19 testing event is scheduled for tomorrow at UND. It'll be at the High Performance Center from 9 to 5, and it's open to the public. Future testing events will take place every Tuesday and every other Saturday. Meanwhile, more testing is slated for Bemidji, Moorhead, and Thief River Falls tomorrow through Thursday. For more information, check out our website at valleynewslive.com. As far as COVID-19 numbers for today, North Dakota reported 260 new cases along with 3 new deaths. The daily positivity rate stands at 6.72%. Overall, 232 people have died in the state. Minnesota is reporting 936 new cases along with 7 new deaths. 2,015 people have died in the state.
The search continues in North Dakota for its 4th state health officer since the pandemic began. And one of Governor Burgum's biggest critics has thrown his hat into the ring. Bismarck Representative Rick Becker wrote a letter applying for the job, including a 10-point plan on how he would handle the pandemic. Reporter Matt Grossfeld has our story.
Rick Becker is a UND School of Medicine graduate and a plastic surgeon who practices in Bismarck. He's calling his plan Freedom, Not Fear, ND.
Can you send me 6 more cars?
Governor Doug Burgum has repeatedly touted mass testing and contact tracing as a way to slow the spread of coronavirus, while Becker's plan would eliminate both. He would also eliminate all mask mandates, even for schools.
What we're seeing is a lot of stuff that's not based on reason, not based in studies, and is not showing any evidence to changing the net effect of the disease.
Centers for Disease Control leaders say studies have shown mask wearing slows the spread of the virus. Still, Becker says it should be left to personal choice.
If it's our obligation, our responsibility to alter our behavior to ensure that we can't contribute to anyone else becoming ill, where's the stopping point?
Becker argues nursing homes should be allowed to set up wings separating those who want stricter isolation from those who want to be allowed to see loved ones. Becker says private businesses should be allowed to operate as they see fit, and no criminal penalties should be implemented on those who don't follow Department of Health guidelines. His rationales are, quote, freedom and, quote, because we aren't China, respectively.
A spokesman for Governor Doug Burgum says Becker has not applied through the job posting on the state's website, adding that as a practice, the office doesn't comment on applicants. Becker says he would go through the official channels if the governor showed interest.
More than 6 dozen West Fargo Cheyenne students were home under quarantine today. The West Fargo School District announced on Friday that players on the Mustangs football team would have to quarantine after one person tested positive. The total number is 77. A district spokesperson says that despite the recent recension of Governor Burgum's COVID-19 quarantine order, the students will remain quarantined. A public Zoom meeting is scheduled tomorrow for Fargo Public School Superintendent Rupak Gandhi and parents to address their concerns about distance learning. They say they don't understand the district's plans to temporarily move both middle and high school students to distance learning starting next week. Today, they gathered to let district leaders know how they feel. A spokesperson says the group hopes to suggest alternative learning options for students, primarily bringing kids back into the schools.
A startling morning for a West Fargo parent at 26th Avenue and 9th Street near Brooks Harbor Elementary. He watches the video as his son gets on the school bus, its stop arm down, lights flashing, when an SUV barrels through, and a few moments later, another does the same thing. According to the law, vehicles must stop before reaching a bus if there are red lights flashing and the stop arm is down.
A little disheartened to see people completely disregarding the lights, and it would be incredibly unfortunate if one of our children in this neighborhood got hit.
West Fargo Public Schools says in this case there's a gray area around divided roadways and whether both directions of traffic need to stop for the flashing red lights and stop sign. If you see dangerous drivers in a school area, you should call the nearest school or police immediately and try to get a license plate number. The Itasca County Sheriff's Office needs your help finding a missing man. Jeremiah Udy was last seen around Pine Landing Drive sometime last week. He has long black hair, about 6 foot tall and 285 pounds. He was wearing khaki pants, a black shirt, possibly Vans shoes, and has tattoos on both arms. If you have seen him, please contact the Itasca County Sheriff's Office at this phone number, 218-326-3477.
Mail theft is on the rise, but there's word tonight that the Postal Service doesn't have a reliable system for tracking it. NBC News is reporting that even though the number of mail thefts has spiked in the last 3 years, there are no consistent numbers to show just how much. The USPS says it has limitations on the internal system used to categorize customer reports of theft. Big event tomorrow night as President Donald Trump and Democratic nominee Joe Biden debate for the first time this presidential campaign. It'll take place at Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, Ohio. Some of the topics expected will include the Supreme Court, COVID-19, the economy, race and violence across the country, and election integrity. The debate starts tomorrow night, 8 o'clock our time.
North Dakota invests $7 billion in legacy fund money, mostly outside of the state. For example, the state owns a portion of a veterinary clinic in the UK. The state tax commissioner is looking to take about $350 million, about 5%, and invest it in the state. He says a North Dakota Investment Advisory Board should be formed to recommend investment opportunities within the state. The commissioner says putting money back into our economy would help jumpstart and diversify it.
I think there's going to be a lot of people in North Dakota who kind of assumed that some of these investments were happening in our state. And I think they'd be kind of surprised to come to find out that it's not available right now for us to do that. And we've been unwilling to, I think, kind of turn on the spigot here for North Dakota.
The proposed board would include the lieutenant governor, insurance commissioner, state treasurer, and Bank of North Dakota president. Still ahead tonight on Valley News Live at 10, as items continue to fly off the shelves, why holiday shopping early this year may be crucial to getting what you need.
But first, tomorrow might be the last warm day for a while. Hutch Johnson has the full forecast right after this break.